Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Jennings from New to Bourbon Guys, and today we're going to talk about preservation. So today I've got two different methods that are pretty popular. Did a bunch of research on this over the years, and I just wanted to bring it to y'all's attention. If you're new to bourbon, you're probably going to the liquor stores and you're probably buying all these different ones and bringing them home and trying them here and trying them there. So what I've done today is I have two different ways that you guys can actually keep your bourbon tasting as good as the day that you bought it. One of the things that if you start researching this, that's a problem is oxidation. So what happens is you open this bottle, right? You pour a bunch out and it moves around in there, right? And you get some oxygen that gets introduced in the bottle. Now what that does is that oxygen sits in there on top of the bourbon and it oxidizes that bourbon and makes it taste bad. So oxidation is good to a point, but it is detrimental when it gets in there for too long, especially when these bottles are when they get low and they're pretty empty. So keep this in mind. When you get to that bottom third, that's when you start sharing it. We've talked about that in other previous videos. So first method, take your bottle, take your top off, cork, whatever you got, screw top. Take the little top in. This is from VacuVin. So you get this and this. This is the pump and this is the little topper. Put the topper in there and all you do is do this and it sucks all the air out of there and makes a little vacuum. Now, what this is gonna do though, is over time, this is actually gonna pull some of those flavors out of the bourbon. It does the same thing with wine. It only works for so long. So this is kind of one of those things you can try it. If you have one already laying around the house from some wine, go ahead and do it until you can get these other things. So that's step one, method one. Method two is my preferred. It's actually these bottles of private preserve. You can get them on Amazon or your local wine shop should have them. These are labeled as something for wine, but they work equally as well for bourbon. So what this is a bottle of inert gas. It feels like there's nothing in here because it's the same thing as what we're breathing right now. So, but there's no oxygen in here. It's all inert gases, a mixture of three gases. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take this, take your top off your bourbon, take your little straw, you probably know what these are if you've ever used WD-40, put that in there, put that down inside and do, you know, a full half second or full second spray. And then take your top, put it on top and spray as you're pulling it out. What you're doing is you're replacing any oxygen or regular air that's in that bottle with these inert gases. And these are heavier. What's in here is heavier than what we're breathing. So it goes and settles on the bottom of your bourbon bottle and it sits right on top there like a little cloud. What that's gonna do is it's gonna keep any oxygen from actually touching your bourbon and it's gonna make it taste as good as the day that you opened it. So some little tips for you guys that are new to getting into bourbon, even tips for guys that have been doing this for a while. This is something that that I learned recently, and it's been a huge help. I have a bunch of friends that have older bottles that they call them Dusties. We've talked about on previous episodes, and they've opened these, and they've had these bottles from the 50s and 60s and 70s, and they use that every time they open it because it makes it taste as good as the day that you open it. So keep that in mind. Once again, like, subscribe, and share, and keep on coming back to the channel. Thanks, guys. Hope that's helpful. Come back and see us. Once again, like, subscribe, and scare. Did I say scare? Well, I'm not pretty, so I gotta be good, I guess. Ooh.